All right. Diving deep into the world of DanTDM.
Yeah.
We've got this biography you gave us, and I don't know, I think we both kind of want to go a little deeper than just like, oh yeah, the Minecraft guy.
Right.
Like this is a whole, it's more than just a gamer story,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's building a brand, you know?
Yeah.
It's adapting to an online world that is constantly changing and shifting.
Yeah.
And it's about keeping millions of people entertained for over a decade, which is insane.
How does someone even do that?
That's the question,
Yeah.
right? It's fascinating. It really is. I mean, you're right. This goes way beyond just being good at video games.
Right.
It's like Dan's journey is almost a case study in online entertainment evolution.
Totally. Like you were
Really?
saying, it's a whole, like even going back, the bio starts in like 2010, right?
Yeah,
Pokemon cards, early
Yeah.
YouTube. I mean, that feels like ancient history at this point.
it does. It does.
But it is that classic, like, started from the bottom kind of story, which I think is cool. It makes it relatable, like, for anyone who's trying to build anything online, right? Like, it wasn't an instant success story, right?
No, absolutely not. Even when he transitions to Minecraft in 2012 with, the diamond minecart,
Yeah.
it wasn't like this overnight thing. It took those early years where it was a grind.
Oh, yeah.
It was consistently uploading, experimenting, finding his voice.
Finding that, like, that groove, right?
Totally.
Okay, but here's, I don't know, this is what gets me 2013.
Yeah.
Minecraft explodes.
Mm.
I mean, everyone and their grandma was playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
But there's something about what DanTDM tapped into, that it was different. It wasn't just gameplay.
Yeah.
It was Dr. Treyarch, it was Grimmy, these characters that added a whole other layer. It was
Right.
like,
It's genius when you think about it,
Yeah.
because he understood the power of storytelling,
Yeah.
especially for his target audience. He essentially brought those elements of like children's television, like think puppets, silly voices, engaging narratives. He brought that to the gaming world.
yeah. Yeah, and that's like a perfect segue because, obviously kids.
Right.
And one of the things that the bio brings up a lot is that whole thing with like the family-friendly content.
Right. Right.
And I'm curious, was that calculated?
Right.
Or did he just kind of like stumble onto this like golden goose?
I think it's a bit of both, honestly,
There-
because you got to remember this was also a time when parents were really starting to like panic about what their kids were consuming online.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So you've got DanTDM coming in, and it's safe, it's positive, it's
Yeah.
genuinely funny.
Yeah.
So it became a cornerstone of his brand identity, which strategically, I think it was brilliant.
But do you think it limited him?
Hmm.
Do you think, like, if he had gone, like, a little edgier, like, if it wasn't so for everyone, could he have, like, did that hold him back? Or
And that is the million-dollar question, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's a trade-off, right?
yeah.
Because by sticking to that family-friendly content, he appealed to this massive demographic,
Huge audience.
kids and their parents.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just kids watching, it was families watching together.
Together. Right.
And that kind of trust and multi-generational appeal, I mean, that's incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
And I think it ultimately shaped his legacy.
totally. And I think you can see that, like, really start to pay off, like, as we move into, like, the mid-2010s, right?
Yeah.
By 2015, this dude is, like, the king of Minecraft YouTube.
He's huge.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He is at the top. Like, if you were to say Minecraft YouTuber, he is the first person you think of, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But this is where it gets interesting for me,
Yeah.
because a lot of creators, I think, would have just ridden that wave.
Cool.
But DanTDM starts to branch out. We see books, live shows, even voice acting.
Right.
Like, he's everywhere. He's like inescapable at this point.
And that right there is the mark of someone who understands the bigger picture, right? He was at his peak, but he used that momentum to diversify, to solidify his brand as more than just the Minecraft guy, which is huge.
Right.
The graphic novel Traoris and the Enchanted Crystal, I mean, that's a perfect example. He took these characters, this world he'd built within Minecraft, and brought it to life in a whole new way.
Totally.
And the tour.
Oh my gosh.
Pure genius,
Yeah.
because remember, this is a time when online personalities, they largely existed in the digital world. He brought that experience into the real world,
Yeah.
and he turned his online community into this real-life communal experience. That's next-level thinking.
It's so smart.
It really is.
And it's easy to forget, like, behind these online personas, right? Like these usernames, there are real people.
Yeah.
With real lives, and the biography talks about Dan becoming a dad in 2020.
Right.
And I was like, man, I can't even imagine
Yeah.
like trying to navigate like parenthood
Oh my God.
while also managing like this massive online empire that you've built.
It's a whole other job.
It's a whole other level of like content creation on top of like
totally.
the demands of just like being a parent in the first place. Really.
Yeah, and think about it. It's not even just like a career shift for him.
Right.
It's a life change.
I
Like
know.
his audience can relate to. Like
Yeah.
a lot of these kids, I mean, they probably grew up watching him,
Totally.
and now they're entering adulthood. Like maybe they're starting families of their own. So it's this weird parallel.
It is. It's like it's he becomes a dad,
Right.
and suddenly like this chunk of your audience is also thinking about like
Yeah.
Play-Doh and like
That's
first steps as opposed to like
less about pixels.
pixels. Yeah, exactly. It's wild.
It's this shared experience, even though it's all like happening through a screen, which is so strange.
So strange, but it makes him more relatable,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
But again, it's like he adapts.
Yeah.
And it feels again like we were saying, it feels genuine, right? It doesn't feel like he's like
Like he's chasing trends.
yeah. And that's I think when we start to see the rise of like the Twitch streaming and all that kind of stuff, which is
Right, which again kind of like speaks to how the landscape is changing, right?
totally.
For online content.
It's so funny because I think about like those early Minecraft videos. It's all about like the final product, right?
Totally, very polished.
Polished hours of editing, crafting, like this perfect
Yeah, the narrative.
narrative, yeah.
Totally.
And then you've got Twitch, which is like raw.
Yeah, it's live, it's immediate.
It is. It's a totally different like vibe.
Totally different energy.
Do you think that was hard for him?
I'm sure it came with its own like set of like challenges, right?
Yeah.
But I also think like it opened up this whole new avenue to connect with his audience in a way that like he hadn't really done before.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because Twitch is all about like building a community in real time.
Real time, yeah.
Like, having those unscripted moments, the laughs, the goofs.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of intimacy.
Totally. And I bet like especially like we're talking like 2020, 2021, like
Right.
the world is like
We're trying.
a little uncertain.
A lot uncertain.
I bet that like really resonated with people.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're all just kind of like figuring this out.
Yeah, we're just rolling with the punches.
Even DanTDM, you know?
Yeah.
But here's the thing that blows my mind is that like even with all of that, right?
Yeah.
All this evolution, he circles back
Yeah.
to Minecraft in 2022
He does.
with diamond dimensions.
Right.
Was that just a nostalgia grab?
Or was there more to it?
I mean, I think it was a calculated move,
Okay.
but I think it was a brilliant one.
Okay.
Because if you remember what we were talking about earlier about like understanding your audience
Okay.
and how they evolve,
Yeah.
this was DanTDM acknowledging his roots.
Yeah.
Like giving a nod to the content that catapulted him to fame.
Right.
But it wasn't just a rehash of old ideas.
Okay. Okay.
Diamond Dimensions felt fresh.
Okay.
Like it had a more mature storyline.
Right.
The production value was incredible.
Like he leveled up.
oh, yeah.
Like the content itself too had leveled up.
Totally.
It's like he was saying like, hey, remember like how much fun we had?
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Exactly.
But like bigger and better.
Exactly. He brought back those core elements that people loved.
Mm-hmm.
The Minecraft world, the humor, the characters. But like he elevated the entire experience.
And I imagine
It worked. It worked. Because it appealed to those older fans who had grown up with him. But it also like drew in a whole new generation of viewers who were like, wait, who's this DanTDM guy that everyone's talking about?
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy to pull off.
No, it's not. I mean, honestly, like the more we talk about this, the more I'm just like, this dude like is a like business genius.
He's savvy.
like he gets it.
He gets it.
He understands like the online world like maybe better than anyone else.
He's got his finger on the pulse.
And he knows how to like adapt and thrive no matter how much it changes,
Mm-hmm.
which is honestly impressive to watch.
And that's what makes his story so fascinating. Is like, he's not just playing video games. He's
Right.
building an empire.
Yeah.
But he's doing it by being like so authentically himself
Yeah.
and by like actually connecting with people on a human level.
It's like he cracked the code, you know?
Yeah.
It's like entertain, engage, evolve,
It's the trifecta.
and never underestimate the power of nostalgia.
Oh, for sure.
Like that is huge.
Yeah.
But I'm curious now, like with all of this,
Yeah.
right? With all this success, all this influence, like what is the legacy of someone like DanTDM? Like where does it all lead?
Ooh.
Makes you think, huh?
It really does.
Like what is the lasting impact of someone like DanTDM, right?
Yeah.
Like we've talked about like his journey,
Yeah.
his evolution as a creator,
Mm.
but like what's the bigger picture here?
That is the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because on the surface, you have, a guy making, entertaining videos, playing games.
Right.
But I think if you look closer, like DanTDM represents this like huge shift
Okay.
in how we consume content, how we connect with each other. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
He's a pioneer of this like digital age.
Mhm.
And his influence extends like way beyond just the screen. You know what I mean?
It's like he's almost like, I don't want to say accidentally,
Yeah.
but like he's become this like
Kinda, yeah.
like role model in a way. Yeah. And not even just like for, other aspiring YouTubers or whatever, but just like
Yeah.
for an entire generation that's like growing up online.
Totally. Like he's shown that authenticity and kindness and having a genuine connection with your audience
Yeah.
can be just as powerful as like any algorithm or like marketing strategy, you know?
Yeah.
And that is like such a like refreshing message.
Totally.
In a world that can feel very like
Yeah.
clickbaity and negative and like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So
And to do that all while like staying true to like
himself.
like, which is, it's kind of remarkable when you think about it.
It's huge.
Like we've seen so many creators like burn out or like they chase like,
Trends. Yeah.
trends or they get like lost in the noise.
Right.
But DanTDM has remained like consistently positive,
Yeah.
consistently engaging, which is, it's actually really impressive.
And I think it really speaks volumes about his character as well. Right. Like he's built this empire, this legacy, without compromising who he is. And that resonates with people, especially I think like younger audiences who are like bombarded constantly by all these like messages about like what it means to be successful online and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like be loud, be, whatever.
Exactly.
And he's like, no, just be you.
Just be a good dude.
Yeah, and it works.
It does. It's amazing.
It's actually crazy, and like I said, I think it's like he's almost like created this like blueprint for like success in the digital age, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about like playing the game well,
Right.
It's about playing the long game.
Yes. 100%.
And kind of like sticking to like what you
Yeah.
believe in and
Totally.
and rolling with the punches and like adapting.
It's about the journey, not the destination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It's honestly inspiring.
It is.
When you really break it down like that, it's
And the crazy thing is, like, we don't know what he's going to do next.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, will he continue to, like, evolve with the times? Will he, like, embrace new platforms and technology?
Mhm.
Or will he, like, always maintain that, like, core connection to gaming, to the community that, like, kind of launched him to stardom in the first place,
Yeah. It's really interesting, and I
His
think
abilities are endless.
they are. I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of DanTDM.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I have a feeling like this is chapter 1.
Yeah.
Like this is just the beginning of whatever
Totally, yeah.
this story is.
His legacy is still being written,
That's a great way to end it, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like we focus so much on DanTDM, but it's bigger than that.
Way bigger, yeah.
It's about like this whole online world and how it's changing and how people are finding success and what it even means to be like to be an entertainer or a content creator or whatever it is these days. So
It's a whole new world out there.
it really is, and DanTDM is like leading the charge in a lot of ways.
Totally.
So I don't know, it's exciting.
It's exciting. I'm excited to see what he does next.
Me too. All right, well, fascinating deep dive this week.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
I always love like learning more about like the creators behind like the games and stuff.
It's always interesting to go beyond the screen, right?
Totally, totally. All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week.
Awesome.
We'll catch you guys next time.
See you.